Hey everyone, today we're going to look at publishing a website, and I'm going to use a previous demo for this. Here's the Mighty Quinn Pub. It wasn't quite done, but we're going to go ahead and we got the index here, show you what it looked like, and how easy it is to publish something. So what do you need? Well, you need your local root folder finished and all your files ready to go. This is my index. It's ready. Well, these aren't quite ready, but let's pretend it's ready, and we're going to go ahead and publish that anyway, and then we're going to unpublish it as quick as we can. Now, well, first of all, the first thing you need is you need a web host. So I would suggest you just Google best web hosting companies 2020 and skip through all the ads and find a reputable, online magazine or website. Here's TechRadar. I don't know them as best as I know like CNET or places like that. Here's CNET. It's a big one right here. If you scroll down, I would actually cross-reference a few different articles and read carefully because you're making a little bit of a commitment. You can always move stuff around, but it's sort of a pain in the butt. A lot of them have sort of like intro deals, so I use that one right there, iPage. That's my web hosting company, but I've used probably 4 or 5 others in the past. They give you basically like a really cheap package to begin with for, I think I got one for 3 years. That's super cheap. When that ends, I might navigate my work to somewhere else just because, money. All right, so I'm using iPage, but any one of these, I've known students who have used HostGator, Bluehost, DreamHost, GoDaddy sometimes is on these lists. They look at a bunch of different things like, what's the customer service stuff like, and how fast do they download, how much space do you get, and how much does it cost, all those things. So I use iPage, and that's what we're going to use for this demo, because that's where all my files reside, because the first thing we need to do is post our files to our web host. All right, I'm going to minimize this for a minute. Actually, I'll show you one last time. So note, this is just our local file. It says file. It's users Jeff Murphy. It's, my username, but it's a local file. It's not something that anyone else in the world could see, but we're going to change that real quickly. Okay, I'm going to even open up a new tab for this. All right, so here's my Mighty Quinn Pub. It's my local root folder. I'm going to take that whole folder and I'm going to upload it to my web host via Fetch. Fetch is free. If you're a student, you have to fill out a little form online. I've already made a shortcut, but my host name was given to me by iPage, and it's my domain name basically, FTP, which stands for File Transfer Protocol. It's been around forever. ftp.murphydigitalart.com, and my username is murphydigitalart. I picked that. I think by default your username for iPage is whatever your host name, your domain name is, and then I made up a password, which I'm not going to share. Okay. And when I connect, oopsie, I typed that in wrong. Okay, there we go. You see the little running dog, and you get all my files. So this is all the files, every one of those folders has got a lot of material in it. And if I wanted to delete any of those folders, let me see if there's anything I can delete that I'm not using anymore. I don't know what I don't think I would. I could update my resume now. That would probably have been a smooth move because that always needs to be uploaded or changed and modified and fixed. And but let's just look at, here's, in any one of these, I have a ton of images. Okay, not that, not that one. This one, because I have different images for, I have using a script that detects the size of the screen and then feeds up the appropriate sized image. So you'll see like image number 11 has 4 different versions of it at different sizes. So every one of my folders for all my images has a ton of stuff in it. All right, so important to be organized. This is the top level. The top level, you will see my index. It's called index so that I don't have to say, hey, www.murphydigitalart.com/murphydigitalart.html. Right, I can leave that last part off because index.html loads automatically. I don't need to specify that in my URL. Now, if we publish Mighty Quinn pub, this is called index.html, but if I'm publishing the whole folder, it's not going to be at my top level, so I'll have to specify my folder, as you'll see. So I have to remember what this folder is called. Well, I'll just keep it open. All right, so publish it, super easy. They have all these buttons up here, but if I want to throw something away, I literally just drag the folder and drag it to my trash can icon on in my Mac OS. It's that easy, and it disappears forever. If I want to publish something, I just take it and I just drag the whole folder in here, assuming I want the whole folder. Oops. Okay, there we go. And you will see it down here, loading up one file at a time and telling you what file it's loading, the progress window, and my favorite little doggy running. Whee! Yay! And it's done. So Mighty Quinn pub is right here. The files are in it. It's not a very big site. There's only 2 HTML files so far. All right, so let's go back here. All right, this one is the file, but let's go ahead and load up, see if our new one is working. So my website, www.murphydigitalart. Now I would have to put the folder in there, which, as you can see back here, is Mighty Quinn pub. Again, this is why you don't use any spaces, because you can't just don't use any spaces. And because the first file is called index.html, it looks in that folder for the index. I don't have to actually write it in the URL. I did have to put the folder because it's, that index file is not on the top level. My real index for my real website is up on the top level. Okay, so the difference though, they look the same. The difference is if you're in Australia and you type this URL in right now, you will see this file because it's live and it's published. This one is not. This one is just running from my desktop. It says file, users, blah, blah, blah. This one is really working. All right. And that's as far as we made it. None of these other buttons do anything. They're going to give me an error. All right, so you can tell we're live because when something doesn't show, it goes to the little, this is not my design, this is iPages, just saying, hey, this file isn't on our servers. Okay, so there you go. And now, let's unpublish it because I don't want that up there. So, Mighty Quinn pub, we'll take it, we drag it to the garbage. Are you sure you want to delete it? Yes, we do. And there it goes. It's gone. Now this might work the first time because it's going to pull it from my cache. But I'm going to hit the shift key while I hit this button. So it doesn't load it from the cache. It tries to get the original files again, and now it realizes it can't find this file again. So if I put this in, again, I'm going to hit the shift reload. Can't find that file anymore. All right, that is it. That is fetch. See if there's any other thing I need to mention about it. There's a lot of extra buttons up here, like push and put. Like if you want to put a file in here, you can click that and then load a file individually. But you can just on Mac just drag it in. It's so much easier. That's why I love Fetch, and it's free if you're a student. So go ahead and download it and get yourself a domain and publish your website. All right, that is all. I'm going to cut my connection here with Fetch.